We got her in April of 2019. 2020. She was about 8 weeks old. Phoebe was very outgoing, yet very sweet. And, just typical puppy. Can be challenging at times, but just a very sweet, fun puppy with lots of energy. Well, it was an interesting time when we got her because it was in the midst of the pandemic, and so everybody was home. So she quickly became the focal point of the family, the center of the family, and was kind of the new exciting thing to kind of take our mind off of what's happening in the world around us. She was really outgoing and super friendly, and a typical puppy she would make this really funny growling sound when we would play, and she'd pretend to attack us, but she's just a sweet, sweet dog, and we knew that as soon as we got her that she was going to just be a fun-going, energetic, sweet puppy. So, yeah, blastomycosis, my experience of researching this for the past over a year is that essentially is a disease that dogs can get. Actually, humans can get it as well, but you get it from breathing in spores of mold, and it's dogs typically get it when they dig into mulch or along riverbeds, and when they're digging and with their snoot in the dirt or the mulch, when they breathe in, these spores get into their lungs and instantly then become a fungal virus that starts to attack the dog. The problem with the disease is that it's incredibly rare and it typically goes misdiagnosed, and they treat the dog for something that it is not currently fighting, not knowing it is blastomycosis, and unfortunately the dogs that do get this do not survive past a couple of weeks. December of 20, I was letting her in from outside. She was outside playing, and she came in. I know she had a limp, and I thought, well, maybe she was chasing a squirrel or something outside, and didn't think too much about it. But the limp persisted for about a day or so. So I took her into the vet, and they looked at her and took some x-rays, and there was nothing obvious going on with her knee or her leg at all. But they sent us home with some pain meds and anti-inflammatory. And after about 2 days, she still had the limp, but she also developed a cough and stopped eating, which was completely uncharacteristic of her. You put down a bowl of food and it's gone in less than 30 seconds. So I took her back to the vet, and they had noticed that she had a lymph node on her back leg where she was limping had ruptured. And our doctor just started to put together individual pieces of just things that Phoebe was dealing with, and kind of had this hypothesis that maybe she's come into contact with, these fungal spores that can cause blastomycosis, and she was only aware of this because she recently had a dog that was unfortunately became victim of blastomycosis. So she was aware of it, and she said, you know what, you don't know for sure until you take a test, and it takes about 2 weeks to get the test back, but I'm going to treat her for it no matter what. And that, to this day, I'm convinced is what saved her life. She started her on the antifungal meds, and within 2 weeks the positive diagnosis came back, and that was really just the start of our journey from there. When she first got this, I honestly wasn't convinced she was going to beat it, and we're still in the midst of the battle, but there are times where you can tell early on that she was just incredibly sick, just lethargic, sleeps the entire day, doesn't eat, and she's just not the dog she was. Hey, Phoebe, pill time. All right, there we go. It's a good girl. All right, just a couple more. Hey, you know what? I think it's really put into perspective just the impact that an animal can have on your life and a family's life. Just, I've had dogs my whole life, but I've just never really been through an experience like this, and it's really kind of shown me just how meaningful she is to our family's lives. Like, she's just a sweetheart and has become part of our family, and we've consciously made the decision that we're gonna do whatever it takes to help her beat this. Yeah, it's a blessing, but then it's also, one of those things that we're just sad for the life she's had so far, but we're, every day that she's here, she makes us all smile, and we're still very optimistic that we'll all beat this together. We're convinced, and we're gonna do it.
Maybe like, what's the hardest part of the last year and a half? Something's wrong, honey. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Walk.
Your fevers. Can't you not walk? Come here, Phoebes. She can't walk. Because of last week. When they fill out the paperwork.